only that there is only one Order of Commander in play at this time.
Yeah.
There can be multiple ones because there are also like completely different strategies.
Yes.
The Cecil basically, even if Loros tries to go aggressive, the Ketramos on the other hand is more like a mid-range and control deck.
So, we will have time to talk about Final Fantasy set later on. There will be a lot of time. We'll get to it, but right now there is a next match being prepared. It's Kellan, Planar Trailblazer, the one of the mono-red decks against Vohar, Vodalian Desecrator. And this is something I'm really interested in because Vohar is another combo deck that wants to go either through Tendrils Way or through the Doomsday. The player that is piloting it is Matouš Pavlovský-Fiala. I know him for quite some time, and he's been the Dimir player as long as I know him. Before that, he was playing that Ertai, but the Ertai doesn't have combo potential. Right now with Vohar, there is interesting combo potential, and Matouš is doing particularly good with that deck, getting to most of the top 8s from the tournaments he's attending, and right now we are going to see what he can perform on our feature match. As you can see, it's one of our star players from Najáda DC League. He finished first in Hradec in I think it was April, playing Vohar all the time. Win rate 64% is pretty high.
Yes, especially during 4 tournaments. So this is a very huge spread. So,
and he's not drawing that much. I think that those 4 draws, might be from the board states where he knows he just draws to the top 8s.
Yes.
So most likely he's either winning or losing, and we are going to see if the winning or losing is going to be this case, because Kellan is mono-red, and mono-red is kind of treacherous because sometimes it can really kill you with a lightning speed.
Yeah, especially in hands of Pavel Podlešák, which I know because he used to play a lot Dual Commander and he was the go-to mono-red player. So we have 2 very good players,
experienced players
fighting against each other. And there is the Kellan, that is not Surgo.
Yes. I'm interested in this. The Kellan is like the way where you can dump your mana if you lack the spells in your hand, so you can improve and not you are not. The issue with mono-red is that when you are flooding, you have nothing to use that mana for. With Kellan, you have always something to do, at least like leveling him up to something better.
Yeah, the thing is that you have 1 mana commander leading your mono-red deck because you really want to have play on the first turn every single game.
Yes.
But with Kellan, you also have the late game potential once all the interaction is spent, and if you leave your commander in play, the Kellan can get you back very much, because a 3/2 with double strike, exiling 2 cards when it hits the opponent again, and it might be a tremendous opportunity to close out the game.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I played mono-red for like 2 years, and I know I would be really happy to go against Vohar, because one thing, there is not much creatures, so there is not much going on in case of blocking Kellan, so you can get the free stuff from that exile effect if you manage to level up Kellan. And the thing you were talking about, the issue of having one drop, there was an era where Felden was the dominating mono-red commander, but the issue was that you had to have a lot of 1 mana stuff to start with that 1 drop. And if you didn't have it, you were already like losing the speed, and that was issue. With the 1 mana commanders, and right now we have 3 legal targets, this completely solves this problem. You don't need to put any 1 drop in your deck except for the best ones, like I guess Lightning Bolt or if you are interested in a lithomantic barrage. So we are going to the match straight. And what would you expect as the first play from the Kellan, which is on the play?
Right.
That's interesting, and that's huge. That's something you want as a monored. Winning the dice is also the part of your winning strategy.
Right. So you mentioned that Vohar, this is a good matchup for Kellan. Thing is, we don't exactly know what kind of Vohar this is. It is a control deck. It is a
It's
reanimator.
not control deck. It's not control or reanimator. This is straight combo deck.
Right.
I know. I've seen this deck perform many times, and
Exactly.
you just want to go for either Doomsday or for the Tendrils of Agony combo.
Yeah.
So cards like Intuition and stuff like that is really your daily bread.
Right. So if your opponent, you play mono red, your opponent can place a combo deck which you cannot really interact with.
Yeah.
How fast do you think Vohar can close out the game with the combo?
Depends on the amount of rituals he can afford in his hand, and I think I see some in his hand.
Also demonic consultation,
which
which is part of the combo.
Yes, these cards are really something that can assure that you are going to be fast in your comboing. The start from the Kellan was also pretty fast. I've said that there aren't many creatures in Vohar deck, and there's one on the battlefield. The Vohar itself, and in a blink of an eye,
Wait, what did she say?
It's not here.
Yeah, right.
I think it's the Arclight Trail that will deal 1 damage to Vohar and 1 damage to Ember. No, it was just the prowess. Don't mind me.
This is
it
the
was
mouse.
Cruel
This is the like Emberheart champion.
Emberheart champion. That will just prowess. And right now there's 5 power on the battlefield. Going through. The question is if there is going to be something more. 2 mana open, some bolts, some hasty creatures.
It's pretty likely, right?
Or Kellan can be upgraded.
Yes,
for the first time.
But I don't think that's the case.
Yes, this seems like the Chain Lightning.
If you have such an like full hand with all the cards, you want to play them first and then have the Kellan. Because
and
in the
Matouš
case
is
of
already at 5 life total.
Yes.
We've come to our feature match and it might be over really quickly. But let's be honest, you don't see this much. This is peak, so you can see how are you gonna die, and this is brutal.
The Ghostfire Slice, the Confluence, red one, and the Pyrostatic Pillar, or what?
It's the Sulfuric Vortex. Sulfuric Vortex.
So, many ways to die.
Not Conflux, Sulfuric Vortex. It goes circular, but the Sulfuric Vortex is actually going to kill you.
Yes. Many ways that Vohar needs to
be worried about. Yes.
And
his hand is stacked. I guess I've seen like the Force of Will in that hand, but the question is, you need both things. You need interaction with the aggression you are forced to defend yourself against, and you also need to have your combo.
I think the combo is already in hand, but there's just no time to play it.
The question is, it's good
because the game is
every fetch
most likely over right now.
Right now, you can see the Flooded Strand, which might
Force of Will also costs life, so there is one more life that puts him in the Ghostfire Slice range.
This is the Ghostfire Slice, yes. And there is the Force of Will.
Okay, but you're forcing and you're losing the life and you're dead on board.
Yeah. As you mentioned, there was the Demonic Consultation, and I've seen the Laboratory Maniac, which is...
So technically, it could be game over from the Vohar side, which is also crazy.
Imagine this game if it would be that Vohar would be on play.
Yeah.
The speed would be reversed, and Matouš would have enough time to close the game with the combo from the hand.
Yeah.
But as
Vohar
you can see,
itself was not necessary pretty much because it was just a speed bump.
You didn't need any tutor. You didn't need anything. You've just had it in your hand. Sometimes it happens. Most of the times it won't happen. for all those combo viewers at home. But the speed.
And additional things to note in this particular matchup is that Kellan is not as good because the Vohar can block and kill it.
Okay.
Despite the Zergo having 2 toughness and Gadai.
This is demonic consultation.
Very interesting situation because there is a little attack and demonic consultation. Is there a way it can prevent?
If there is, we're going to search for it. It must be something that costs you 1 mana.
Or is for free.
Or is for free.
And
it must be 1 blue.
Sorts.
Because you don't have the black. If it would be like black, you could go for something like Fatal Push or...
that situation, I don't think there is a way to... Or is it?
Or is it?
Yeah. Hydroblast.
Most of the time, I forget about these, the Pyroblast and the Hydroblast.
Because in the earlier stages of Dual Commander, those cards didn't see play except the very rare situations. Nowadays, when the red or most likely red is so presented, and blue also, those cards can be very effective, more than any other types of interaction. With red, you have Mono Red, you have Deadpool, you have Aragorn. With blue, you also have Aragorn, Aminatu,
If we look at the top of the meta, I guess on the MTG top 8 right now, the top 5 decks have red in it. So the Hydroblast is absolutely must-have.
And if you look at top 10, it's not Thalia, but anyone plays either red or blue.
So right now there was that frantic search, and I think that the Laboratory Maniac was going to the graveyard.
Ready to be reanimated, perchance?
Well,
we see. We see. So Matouš is going to do something interesting right here.
So Storm count already on 1.
Okay.
Don't mind the card from other game. This is just for the case of making sure that you know how many spells have been cast. And the Laboratory Maniac stayed in the hand.
Okay, right. So this is the last turn. Matouš can do anything because if he passes the turn, he's dead no matter what. There are 2 lethal attackers and some burn spells in hand. So this is the last turn. No. This game, he can do something.
Maniac entered the graveyard in the end.
Okay.
Everything is black.
Since the storm count is getting counted, there may be some...
And also the mana. Yeah. But is it enough? You need to have storm count 10 to win.
Well, I don't think you need to kill your
opponent
this turn. Because tendrils gain you a bunch of life, so you can use it for that.
It can keep you in this game.
Exactly. And this is most likely what Matouš is going for. Just do a part of the combo to live and maybe get another chance to win in the future.
There is some kind of tutoring. The question is which one. I've seen the demonic tutor in the library, so it must be other kind.
The thing is, this is the storm count 4 with the tendrils being cast, so it's 8 life and 9.
Yeah. If he goes for the Yawgmoth's, is there a way that you can pull off the demonic consultation from your graveyard and go still for the Laboratory Maniac win?
I don't think it is necessary the Laboratory Maniac. Maybe it's just a ritual again, tutor again into the tendrils.
And we go for it. There is the Yawgmoth's, and it is, and unfortunately for the Mono-Red, there is no way for you to interact.
Yeah. There is, as far as we know, no 1 mana burn spell to seal up the game on that.
Yeah, and if it would be in that hand, it would be pulled off immediately.
Yeah, right away before anything happened. So now Matouš gets to do his thing, whatever he can. There is some cards already in exile that bit complicates the situation.
It could be complicated.
What's that? This is the Cabal Ritual again.
Yeah, Cabal Ritual again, so you can get the mana you need.
Storm 5 black mana available. The tutor plus...
The problem is if there is a possibility to go Maniac and Consultation, but there is one issue. You only have black mana.
Yes.
So there is no way to replay that Laboratory Maniac right
by
now.
Using it, the Matouš sealed himself into the
So there is the tutor again.
And he's going to get plus 3 mana, which is 6. So potentially Demonic Tutor into the Tendrils to up your storm
You really
count
need to build
even
the
more.
storm count. Yeah, sure, you could go like for
Is there
the
anything
Tendrils
else
of
in
Agane
there?
immediately, but if you do it, you are not finishing the game. You are just stalling the game
Yeah.
and making sure you don't die.
A ritual and then consultation into the because there is a consultation again.
It is.
There is a chance of fizzling and dying if you exile the whole your
It is.
library,
You need
but
to really
think-
remember what you have left in your library.
because storm count 6, 7, 8. That it might be enough to
might.
kill Pavel.
He's really
on this
close.
turn.
And if you build up enough mana, you can just play some kind of legal spells just to build up the storm count.
Since I don't have the deck in hand, I can't really count
Yes.
all the possibilities.
There's the
it
Demonic
looks
Tutor.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Being
it's-
played from hand. No, it was played from
Yeah, hand, but
from
it
hand. But
goes in the exile
Yes.
immediately because will is already
yes,
in effect.
it is true.
And
So
there
if you go for the demonic consultation and tendrils,
there's nothing
it's-
else. Yeah.
You only build the storm 9.
Right. So what about you find wait you already have only 4 mana. So this is definitely just
You are
for the
one
tendrils
of lethal.
because- Yes. This is the only chance.
So
And just
basically, the life totals would switch.
yes, which would buy Matouš kind of lot of time.
But you are losing really a huge chunk of your deck. And the question is, how are you going to finish?
Well, you can just play Vohar and activate it. But
Yeah.
you need to survive a turn.
There it is.
And the tendrils for 9. It's 18th.
Yeah.
18 your opponent. Give me your life.
Close.
Wow. So
He tried so
What?
hard and got so far. But in the end, it mattered a little bit.
yes, if Pavel would use a fetch land one more time, he could be dead.
Yeah, you cannot fetch.
Yeah. The game. So the game is not over. Yeah. Matouš just gained back all the life he lost
And
during the game.
we couldn't hope for anything better because the game plan of the mono red is to win as fast as you can. The combo, the game plan of Vohar is combo as fast as you can. But both of the players couldn't manage to do this, and we are still in the game 1.
Both got pretty close, pretty
Yes.
damn close, in fact, because both players get in 1 life, so we couldn't ask for a closer game in
Yes.
this situation. The idea is what Matouš now is going to do.
Yes.
If, for example, some creature to try an act, because Pavel is now very close to death and needs to be careful.
This is one of the cards that can help you to end the game really quickly.
Yes, but not right now. This is just.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kellan stays back because if there
has
is
to.
some hasty
Ooh, this is the thing. The monument. Can-
movement of something, I don't really know right now. But if you draw, discard a card, you can make your opponent lose life.
Monument to endurance.
Alright, this is the win.
Wow.
So Matouš had the monument the whole time, only not
Yes,
mana.
and
So
also
his
the
plan
way
is-
to discard a card.
Okay, that was the possibility condition which he had in hand. So this
But
is
I
very
think
convenient.
there were like
situation.
2 cards left in his library.
Only 2 cards in library.
Yes, everything either exiled or in his graveyard.
Wow, I
This
didn't
was
realize
one
that.
of the closest game with the Vohar and one of the least likely ended up.
Yeah, definitely. This was amazing. Like one player being so high on top, closing the game on turn 4, basically.
And
then
according to getting the win, the Matouš needed to be really creative to achieve it.
exactly.
The first use of the demonic consultation seemed like the desperate measures to just survive the aggression.
In that situation, on the Pavel's side, I wouldn't be worried in the slightest. Like,
Yes.
okay, what you are going to do?
Yeah.
But the hand was almost perfect, and I would be very surprised dying
I think
like
that the
during-
thing that helped was that the combo potential was already in the hand. You didn't need to tutor for anything.
Right.
So you've got you had the tools. It was only about how you are going to use them, And as we could see, Matouš used them pretty good, perfectly, just to achieve the win.
Yeah, you can see that there are also very interesting decks in the meta, because this is a combo deck, but it is not like a combo deck in a way that you need to play card 1 and card 2 as soon as possible,
Yeah.
and only those two cards.
Yeah.
You can also figure out and like drive through your deck and play through multiple rituals and tutors to pull out the win seemingly out of nowhere.
I was talking with Matouš once, and he told me that some cards you don't even want to have them in your hand because they are better for you in your library. So yeah, Matouš has done his homeschool because if you lost the dice against Mono Red, you need to win at least once when it's on the play, and he already managed that.
Yeah.
So right now, even if you lose, the next time you are going to be on the play, and it's going to be advantageous for you.
Right. So now Pavel needs to pull out this A game to win 2 games in a row and to seal the deal on that. He goes first. Thank you for showing him.
I've seen the pyrokinesis.
Oh, and I see the days.
The days.
So,
and a lot of lands. The players are being really nice to us and also to you, viewers at home, because you can see what they are cooking with.
An Inquisition
of Kozilek.
I believe some discard spell.
Yeah, because he is putting on one side the cards.
And we see the hand again.
Yeah.
Good for us, right? Yeah, Searing Blade, the Searing Blade is probably go-to because it is a way to deal with Vohar.
Yes.
It is a card you can play very early. Or the Lavamancer. That also works,
Yeah.
I believe.
The Lavamancer can really build up a lot of damage over the time, making sure that you recycle the cards in your graveyard the most effective way, which is in the Mono Red considered damage to your opponent.
Yes, thing is, do you expect this game to go that close?
Yeah.
Or that long? Considering what we saw in the previous game.
Yes.
I don't think the Lavamancer would have much work to do, or the time for
The time especially, because you don't have the time.
Right. So now we see if Vohar just go for the commander or try to open up the mana for some sort of
you are
interaction.
going to let your mana open, and right now you can
got the days.
you can hardcast the days to disrupt like anything, and you would be happy to discard any card that Pavel plays.
Because that is a preferred play. You don't really in this matchup want to bounce your land because that sets you even more behind. Okay, 3 mana. That's a Phoenix, most likely, right?
Phoenix in the grave isn't the
not the
worst, but still you haven't used your mana effectively right now, and we are going to the third turn, and I see 16 on the side of Matouš Pavlovský-Fiala.
Yeah.
The last game it wasn't 16, it was 5.
Yeah,
and
the
it
thing
was
is,
brutal.
Pavel kept a hand that's very expensive cards. I don't know how many 4 mana cards are there or something. We have a notification that Kellan got leveled up.
And he is right now
and
the
flipping
detective. He's on the case, and the case is how you destroy the Vohar.
Yeah, you skewer the critics.
Yeah,
Vohar is the critic getting skewered.
that is how you are doing the detective work.
Yeah,
If there are some critics criticizing your detective work, you just skewer them.
Yeah, perfectly, right from the top. This is what Pavel needed to really put out the pressure on the opponent, because this is like 10 life already.
And you can keep the cards in your hand, because I think it was exiled with the detective work.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was an extra card you got.
Yes.
Because basically for free.
One unfortunate thing is that the pyrokinesis cannot target your opponent's face.
Yeah.
It's free spell, but it mostly deals with creatures.
Yeah, it's not a fire blast.
How many is going to be there in Vohar? Yeah, he has drawn.
And we saw the another Baleful Tricks there, which is pretty good to be able to get rid of that easily.
Yes.
Because you really need the Kellan to get in.
But
and
Matouš
get the
knows
damage.
about the pyrokinesis, so I think that he wouldn't be dumping his mana into the Baleful Strix just.
What's the other case? I see lots of Japanese special art cards.
There is going to be Gitexian probe
for 2 life.
For 2 life. And
spam.
these cards.
That's interesting.
You have more fire, more gas.
Incinerate and Fireball.
Yes.
I believe.
I guess so.
It is 5 additional damage from hand. This is almost lethal next turn. Almost.
Yeah.
It is.
It can be.
So we get another hit you,
if you get
down to 1
if
and
you
then
get land,
I die situation.
If you get land, it would be nice. And as you mentioned, the Strix.
Strix is here, and only Strix, not Vohar, because now you force Pavel to waste the prerequisites for Strix, which is very far from the optimal play.
I didn't expect this match to go that long, to be that much going on.
Well, it's a turn 4 and the game is close to over, so it's not that far. It will be strange to see going to the extra turns.
But it's not just slam card, and win.
Yeah, mostly because Pavel got a very slow start.
Yes, that's the truth.
Let's see if there are some ways that he can interact with Matouš. Because some of the combos can be disrupted by...
this is card I'm not familiar with. And as I mentioned, I've been playing the Monolith for 2 years. This is from the new Jumpstart, the Minotaur legendary creature.
Yeah, that makes cowards...
Yes, I think that's with the cowards one that cannot block him.
Yeah.
Or like it's something like the warriors you control cannot be blocked by cowards and making your opponent's creatures cowards.
We don't have to worry about that because it got countered.
Yeah. By the Japanese counterspell.
Now it's the time for the unfortunate...
Gornok, the Red Reaper.
Yes.
Minotaur warrior with haste.
Exactly.
And it's a pretty obvious thing. Cowards can't block warriors.
Yeah, it's
Who
logical.
would expect otherwise?
Yeah. Oh, so we see Pavel really thinking about this pyrokinesis. This is like the most painful pyrokinesis he played in his life.
But
dealing with expending 2 cards from your hand to dealing with single 1/1 creature that already get the extra
it would
card
be
from
an honor to, especially this Baleful Strix, taking 4 damage, making rid of 2 cards from your opponent's hand, drawing you 1.
Such value.
Value town.
Yeah, but
pure value town.
Pavel just really needs to hit the opponent, so I think
this he bins the Scarlet.
Yeah, this is inevitable. Yeah, pretty much because all the other things are burn spells, which are pretty kind of more useful.
And more detective work.
And hello, Zurgo.
Hello, Zurgo.
Goodbye, Zurgo.
Goodbye.
Get to exile. Not the commander.
Not the commander for Pavel. Pavel doesn't need him.
Oh, and there is a tough lash. One part of the combo piece.
Yes.
See? Next turn he can exile to search for the other one, right?
Yes.
The Jace, for example.
It would help him.
It seems like
the question
Pavel has the last turn, and the tough lash, if I believe correctly, can save you to prevent losing life, preventing damage.
It would work somehow like the Glacial Chasm.
Right. But you need to spend cards from the top of your library, and there is some Thought Lash as a thought.
Yeah, Thought Lash, I guess, is the card.
And there will be cards exiling to prevent the damage.
Yes.
If there was be Chase, that would be funny, right?
Yeah. The one thing that can really deal with it would be dealing with the only card you can win with. And this is one of the payoffs for that Snow Mana.
Yep. Ice Hide Golem.
Not
really relevant right now. There needs to be paid the cumulative
upkeep. Yes.
And is Matouš just gonna go for it? What's that?
Well, this is something from Duskmoor.
No, this is the special card. Title Pact? Alternative Art? New one? I think.
Might be.
No. This is a tutor. Oh, it is a tutor for demon?
That's the tutor from the Duskmoor that gives you demon, I guess. Or it gives you a card if you have Delirium.
Right.
It gives you any card in your library.
Okay, so
and
there is Delirium, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
creature, artifact, land from the fetch land and also the counter spell. So at least as we are counting right, the demonic council got him anything he needed.
The thing is, why Matouš didn't go just for the Jace and win the game?
I'm not sure.
Because he can just mill your library until you hit Jace. Oh, you don't know the cards. Oh, I see. Yes. I'm so used to have Thought Lash in play with Glarp. When you see the top of your library. I didn't realize that you are
it's comboing on easy mode.
You need an additional card. I'm sorry, right? It's not that simple, but the thing is,
but you are not afraid about
Matouš is
the thing that Pavel is right now doing, because he used that 3 damage spell. He just wants to exile the combo pieces based on luck
as
from
many
the top.
Cards as
and
possible.
There is Yog's Will.
Yeah,
it's one thing.
And Doomsday. Also.
And Doomsday. Those are 2 cards that Matouš really cares about.
No, Laboratory Maniac, no Jace.
Yeah.
Which are the real win conditions in this deck. So the thing is still alive.
Right now with the Thought Lash. And there is the Jace.
What was the 2-4?
What could it be?
Yes. And Jace is...
You are hoping to exile the Jace from the library.
Plus him immediately,
but
and
most likely it was
you Thought Lash your library away, and you win the game.
And it was easy 2-0. Well...
Matouš 1-2-0, pretty...
I'm not sure if we have enough time for the interview, but most likely this was pretty fast.
We definitely have
in a small amount of time you will have a sweet interview with Matouš. But right now, Matouš must decide. Does he want a mystery sack? Or does he want to open the mystery booster? That's the question. The players are going to clean up. There's probably some talk between them about the games. We all do this. And it seems that Pavel gets the booster.
Yes.
I hope he opens something really nice to compensate this really hurtful loss, especially the first game.
Yeah,
that must have been really painful for him.
Matouš has it both times.
Yeah, but let's see if there is something really good. I like this vampire and with lifelink and death touch. Yeah. The mono black devotion decks like it. Mana Tide.
A usable card.
Yeah, usable card.
The
Felidar Guardian.
Where the alternative, you win the game cards, which is pretty thematic.
But the Mana Tide can really. It's not the Felidar Guardian. It's the other Felidar, some big, I think, Felidar Savior or something like that.
Pavel can at least play different.
No, not Felidar Savior. Right? There are so many Felidars, and I cannot think of the right one. I'm sorry.
Sovereign. Felidar Sovereign.
Sovereign, yes. It's not the Savior, it's Sovereign. I meant that it was an S. Yes, that's the one. Vigilance lifelink. If you are healthy enough, you win the game. But in Duel Commander, you start at your 20 life total, so that's not the case.
So Pavel can now play red-white decks.
Yeah, so we are right now going to a little fade out, and after a really small amount of time, there will be Matouš going to the interview. Stay, and you will be hearing what he had to say to those two games.
So hello Matouš, welcome you to our booth, to the interview. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank
How
you.
do you feel?
Lucky.
Yeah.
I think the games were pretty lucky. The first one especially, that was pretty bullshit. I feel sorry for the opponent because loads of things had to go exactly my way to win that one.
Right.
Fortunately they did. The second one, I think opponent kept kind of a slower hand and it was very playable, but the first one was very unlucky.
Okay,
for him.
so congratulations to all. considering, let's see at the beginning. So,
Yeah.
What about you and Vohar? How long are you playing the deck?
I've picked up the deck, I think, last September,
Yeah.
where I was playing airtype before, but I am very combo-oriented player, so I really like playing combo decks, and I found out that there is a Dimir combo deck where I had most of my blue and black cards from airtype, so I just very easily switched into this, and I've been playing it ever since. First I played deck list that wasn't really mine, but then in January I think I made up my own version where I play some weird cards and weird mana base.
Okay, what about the weird cards? Is there some addition you would like to say?
I mean, the deck, the weird cards in this case are probably lands, because I decided to play Tainted Pact because I think it's really great in the deck.
It needs to be, right? It's part of the combo.
Yeah, of course, it's part of the
works with
combo,
the
but
cards.
it also doesn't work with lands very great, because
Yeah.
the deck is weird because you have Tainted Pact, so you need to play each land only once. You need to play Gush for Doomsday, because that's the main win condition, where you need 2 islands. You need to play Lake of the Dead, because that's another part of the combo where you need 2 swamps. And you also need to play Doomsday for 3 black mana and Jace for 3 blue mana in the same turn. It's really weird. But the mana base has been working great so far for me, so I think
Unfortunately, these times you have plenty of dual lines, so you can fix your mana pretty good.
I think people are too scared of tap lands nowadays. I think I have 11 tapped lands in the deck, and if you play tapped land on turn 3, it usually doesn't bother you that much, so it's great.
Okay, so what about the mono red? What were your expectations?
The matchup is weird. I've not played it that much, but I think it doesn't really go my way.
You have played against Yoshimaru though, I believe.
Not today, but generally.
In the past, so it's pretty similar matchup.
I think it's
getting pressure.
I think it's actually a lot worse than Yoshimaru, because versus Yoshimaru you are usually at least sometimes able to keep your Vohar in play.
Right, there are
because
lots of less removal spells.
There's lots less removal spells versus Mono Red Burn. You don't usually keep Vohar around, so I think the matchup is not great. I was not very happy when I saw I'm playing into Zurgo or Kellan. I didn't know yet. I found them it's Kellan, which I think it's a bit better for me than Zurgo, because you can block him with Vohar and kill him.
Right, that's what I mentioned in the stream, because there are more Zurgos than Kellans. Kellan is only one there, and this is the Kellan that you are playing against. And
I think generally Kellan is a bit better than Zurgo.
I believe so.
But I think he should have swapped into Zurgo for game 2.
That might be the case. What are there any worse matchup even than Mono Red?
I'm not sure. I think probably Rakdos Agros, but not really Deadpool. I think Deadpool is not that bad because the commander costs 4 mana and it doesn't really pressure that much.
It's too late,
Judith and Yurei are a big problem for me usually.
Agat also, maybe.
Gat. I actually don't think I've played against Gat, but Rakdos Gat is probably a problem as well.
Okay, tell us more about the game 1. You got down to 1 life, and then it switched, and then you won the game in a matter of 2 turns.
So I kept a pretty risky hand because it didn't have that much interaction.
You had the whole combo there, right?
Kind of. I had Cabal Ritual and the Dark Petition, which work really great together, but you need Delirium first. And I had some cards that could be discarded.
And Consultation, no?
I'm not. No, I didn't. I think. Oh, maybe.
It began with Consultation, right?
It began with Consultation because I needed
you had that.
something, and I also kept the Consultation. I was thinking it's not really great because it's usually mulligan to 6 when you keep Consultation, but it sometimes does something. And
as we saw on the stream.
Of course, as we saw. And then I really needed to draw my 3rd land on turn 3 because I only kept 2, which didn't happen. That slowed me a lot. I think if I drew it would be really great because I could have played Frantic Search first, then discard the cards, then I would be really close to Delirium. It would be fine. that didn't happen, so I was a turn slower. Yeah, I then needed to do like really weird stuff with tutoring Hydroblast with consultation to keep it.
In that situation, I was like, what can he do? Because he has lethal attack against him. He has only blue mana. What can he play? And I couldn't figure out the Hydroblast. Have you put it in the deck recently?
Yeah, I've put it for this tournament. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think there's gonna be pretty like loads of Yoshimaru's, Zurgos and Deadpools.
Is that good against Yoshimaru though?
I think usually it's good versus Blood Moon, which that was big reasoning for putting it in, because
in your Tainted Pack mana base, right?
Yeah, in my Tainted Pack mana base, Blood Moon hurts me a lot, and you can actually put the Hydroblast into Doomsday Pile on top to have like interaction versus red decks. So I think it's actually really nice in today's meta.
Yeah, what I would like to ask before anything else, in the game 1, how soon have you thought about the whole combo? When was the point that you saw the line that you have win?
I didn't see I have win. I really didn't have win. Actually, like the win was very, very lucky, because I needed to do consultation for Hydroblast, where I needed to not exile any crucial cards. And then the next turn, when I was comboing, I had to play another consultation, because then I wouldn't have mana for the tendrils. So I had to play another consultation, but at that time I already had the second. I didn't need really anything else. Well, I needed the second damage, the last damage somehow. That was the luckiest part, because I have, I think, like 4 cards that are able to deal damage to opponents.
Right. I was thinking I don't know. You recast Vohar.
Yeah,
and try to activate it to kill your opponent.
I couldn't do that, because I put Vohar into graveyard for the delirium. So not delirium, for the threshold. So I was thinking about that, but I couldn't do that. So
all right. And so you didn't know, but there was a point that you saw. Okay, I can. What was the card you discarded to the tournament? This was some kind of cycling.
It's a card I put right before this tournament. It's called Locust Spray. It's a new card. It's new card from Eterdrift. Yeah, it's instant that gives a creature -1/-1, and it has cycling for 1. And the reason I put it in is because it's great against Kellan and Yoshi. And versus other matchups, you can just discard it. And I also have Monument to Endurance as a discard. As a discard combo. So like the whole I was thinking about actually both those cards are my 99th and 100th cards to play in the deck. And I was thinking if I should play either, and I put them in the deck, and it looks like it paid off.
Right, so you can like basically cycle it and fill your graveyard and recast it with Vohar later.
Yeah, but I mean the whole point of the card was to have like a cantrip, which is not really great, but it can kill Yoshimaru and Kellan.
That's right.
And Bowmasters and some
perfect
other
choice.
Stuff. But it was mainly for the Kellan and the Yoshi matchup.
Okay, and what about game 2?
Game 2, I think...
You went like all in on the Thought Lash?
No, actually no. It was pretty safe, because I had the Thought Lash and I had a tutor in hand.
And you saw pretty early that your opponent, because you played like peak.
I saw he
has like
I played I think Inquisition turn 1 where I discarded his like only
the Lava Monster.
Yeah, the Lava Monster which was like his only other damage. So he was only pushing in 2 damage with Kellan, and that was too slow. I then didn't draw a land for the turn where I could play Thought Lash first, which was I was pretty scared, but he didn't have much damage, and I had like 2 or 3 turns.
You was at 6 life.
I was like 6 life. Well, that was after Thought Lash, so the turn before I was at like 10, I think, or 11, something like that. So.
And you had a tutor spell to combine it with the Thought Lash.
Yeah, it's pretty safe, because you only need to survive 1 turn with Thought Lash and not discard your Laboratory Maniac and Jace. In this matchup, probably Jace, because Laboratory Maniac can die to burn pretty easily.
And even if Jace got removed, you already win the game, because it's the part of the +1 ability, right?
No, it's part of the Jace, so you need him in play. But
But
he
there is
goes
some
he
with
goes
the game, right?
he goes he has static ability that says if you would draw a card from any
Oh yeah,
library,
sorry.
you
Yeah,
win the
right.
game.
Yeah.
But
The second ability has the win
yeah, yeah,
goals.
yeah,
I remember
but
incorrectly.
but you didn't use that one really.
Okay, so you said that you went from Ertai
Yep.
to Vohar. Have you thought about playing the Kyrgyz combo version? with, Rograk? for
Yeah,
example?
I've thought about it, but actually, the main reason I'm not playing it is
don't
because
have
of
the red cards?
Yeah, no, it's because of the price. Because like,
Okay, right.
the lands are expensive. I mean, I could probably buy them, but it's not really something I'm aiming to. And I also think it's worse than Vohar.
Right.
My
okay.
deck is like kind of control-ish. You have plenty of counter spells, discard spells. You can play the long game versus some controls. Atraxa, they're actually not that bad of a matchup.
Because you have value in commands.
Yeah, because you have value. They usually kill the Vohar, then you play him again. Then you also kill him. Then you have
So you
two
waste
extra
those
cards.
assets.
Yeah. So it's not that bad. And I think the Grixis is worse. I think the Ragnos combo deck, the Rograk Tevesh, is probably better.
Because
Oh, it's really fast.
like streamlined, more
it's-
streamlined because of the mana.
No, but just the deck in general is so fast for today's meta and pretty hard to disrupt. I think it's the best deck in the format right now.
Okay.
But actually for Vohar, it's not that bad of a matchup because you have interaction and he doesn't, so I'm not that scared of it, usually.
Right. What was your previous matches?
The first round I played versus Aminatu. That was pretty close because like the deck can do some unfair stuff and you...
Reanimator?
Oh yeah, Reanimator Aminatu. Then second round I played into... What was it? Into Prosh. That was pretty close as well. You have to be really fast because he is really fast, but he doesn't have the disruption.
Yeah. No,
So
not really.
Yeah, so I pulled that off. It was very close, both games, but I won 2-0. And then in the third round, I met Flage, and that is one of the very good matchups for me because he doesn't
Right.
have that much disruption, and also that is not that fast on the clock, so he doesn't kill you as fast.
So
as...
it's 3-0 and you won every single game?
No, I've lost one game versus Aminatu.
Okay, right. So, very nice run so far. Good luck to you, and let's see if we are gonna see you again
Hopefully in
today.
the top 8 or
Yeah.
top 16.
Well, so far you've been pretty lucky,
Yeah.
considering even the Najáda Liga.
Yeah. It's
Right.
been great for me this year so far.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the deck, maybe it's not. I'm still not sure. Maybe I just was very lucky last few tournaments.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, thank you very much for this interview, and congratulations again for your win, and good luck for
thank
the
you
rest
too.
of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yo, goodbye.
See you around.